So today we're going to be going over YouTube. As always, if Mary has your email, she will be able to send you the slides afterwards and also a link to the video whenever this is over. If you have any questions, please feel free to write them in the chat, in the Zoom group chat, or you can ask them if they're pertinent to the specific thing I'm talking about, or there will be time at the end for you to kind of gather your thoughts and ask all the questions you can think of. Okay, so YouTube is a pretty broad topic. We have a couple different things we're going to be talking about today. First thing is why. So why should anyone use YouTube? And there isn't really a good rationale, except the alternatives are all worse, essentially, for the consumer and for the producer in some way or another. Primarily based around YouTube was here first, and YouTube has the largest market share. Whenever you go to watch a video online, if it's like a movie or a TV show, you kind of think Netflix. If it's a shorter clip, you think YouTube. No one thinks Venmo or Twitch or something like that specifically for viewing online content in the same way that people think of YouTube. So why do you use YouTube? Because everyone uses YouTube. So we're going to go over a first step with getting into YouTube. And the first question you want to ask yourself is, do you have a Google account? And then the second question is, do you need a Google account? And the answer is, you don't need a Google account to use YouTube. You don't need any account to use YouTube. But to access more of the features, you'll need to sign in to YouTube. And you can do that without a Google account. It's just kind of easier if you use a Google account. And Google accounts are free, and I think personally that they're incredibly useful, so I don't see a reason not to have a Google account to use YouTube. So we're going to quickly go over how do you log in, and there's a specific YouTube for YouTube Music if you just want to have music on in the background, and we're also going to go over main page navigation a little bit. Alright, so to go to YouTube, you just type YouTube in the search bar, and you get welcomed to the YouTube homepage. Now, I'm already signed into my Google account because I'm using Google Slides for this presentation, but if you were not logged in, just a login prompt would pop up, and then you would sign in with your account. And that's a very straightforward process. So the first thing we want to look at is this is the home page. So this is what YouTube thinks I want to watch, or thinks that I would find interesting. Now, I don't use this account much, so we're not going to have very specific related to me recommendations. But if you notice at the top, it says all recommendations, and then Warframe, Jim's, Comedy, Osu, I don't know what that is, AirPods, Apple. So these are things it thinks I'm interested in. And if I'm kind of feeling like I really want to learn about AirPods or watch video on AirPods, I can click on this, which it thinks I'll find interesting. And then it would narrow the search to AirPod related videos, where I can go back to all recommendations and just see everything and kind of learn about things that I may not know about, but still find entertaining. So apparently I think it would be funny to watch a strongman named Eddie Hall try and fit on an airplane. It's not wrong. That thumbnail at least has piqued my interest, but we're going to kind of continue on. So this is where all the videos are. This in the main page, the top section, is my recommendations. Right below it, it will have news that it deems important. So right now, we have COVID-19, and then it will go on and on for other things it thinks I'll find interesting. So it'll just keep going, and you can keep scrolling. All right, so this is the home page. You can see on the top left. If I go to trending, these will be videos that are currently very popular. So people are talking about the PS5, so maybe I'll click on the PS5 video and learn more about that. Alright, so that's pretty much main page navigation. We're going to be going into the different, more specific options over here in a little bit. But basically the main page is this top section, which is what it's recommending to you, what it thinks you'll find interesting, and then what it generally finds interesting. So there will be COVID-19 news right now. Sometimes there will be news on protests. Sometimes there will be election coverage if an election is going on. So basically really big hot topics. It'll fill in down here. So this next section that we're going to talk about is kind of how to make YouTube work for you. So you saw just a little bit ago that the main page gave me things that it thought I would be interested in. This is kind of how to augment that and make it even better. So we're going to go over a little bit more about the home screen. We're going to go over notifications, subscriptions. We're going to go over library, history, watch later, liked videos, and we're going to talk briefly about playlists because you need to do something specific to get playlist working. So if we go here and we click on library, this is going to be kind of an overall view of what I've done on YouTube. So you can kind of see there's a history tab, there's a watch later tab, there's a playlist tab, and liked videos. So all of it is broken down on the left right here. So if I want to specifically look at my history, because I saw a really funny video last week and I need to share it, if I go in my history, I will be able to see all the things that I have watched on this account. And if you click on a link from somebody and you found it funny, but you really don't want Google or YouTube to think about it whenever they're giving you recommendations, you can delete it from your history. Now, Google/YouTube will still know that you've watched it, but it won't use that for giving you suggestions moving forward. So I watched a Google Pixel Buds review mic test included for one of the classes we did. So I will go here, kind of highlight it by moving my mouse over it. There will be an X and it says remove from watch history. I'll click that, and now that video is removed from my history. So it will no longer give me recommendations based on me having watched that video. Watch later. Okay, so watch later is if you watch, funny, same video, is if you watch a video or it's a longer video and you want to save it to watch it later, you basically click on watch later. And what that means is I'll open up a video.
So thank you all for watching.
And I see that this is an hour and 15-minute long video. That is way too long for me to watch now, but maybe later tonight I will get around to it. So what I'll do is I will hit save, which is right below the video. Click save, and then I will save to watch later. And then on the bottom it says saved to watch later on the bottom left. I will close this, and now if I go back to watch later, the video will pop up. So it will remind me that this is a video I clicked on that I want to watch later. Likewise, if you hit the thumbs up icon on a video, it will show you as having liked it, and you can also navigate by that. So if I open up this video again, and I've decided that I like it, so the thumbs up right below the video, I hit the thumbs up, and it will now show in my liked videos section. And that's another good tool for kind of curating what videos you like. What you can also do is you can subscribe to things. So subscriptions is right down here, right below the library history, watch later, and liked videos. And essentially what subscriptions are is if a particular channel or content creator does something you like and you want to get notified whenever they produce something new, you can subscribe to the channel. So if I go to, I've already liked that one. If I go to Apple support,
Catch up.
there will be a subscribe button right here below the video. It will be red. And if I decide that any video Apple support puts out, I want to be notified about, I can hit subscribe. And now it will show up under my subscriptions. Here, if I refresh the page. And if a video gets added to the account, a little red circle will pop up letting me know that that page has added a new subscription or a new video for me to watch. So you can see I refreshed the page and now Apple support. So you can end up having a lot of subscriptions. So say I have 100 subscriptions. It will, whenever, if there's a channel I'm subscribed to that has produced a video, then that would rise above the others. So it's only going to show you like 15 subscriptions right here. And if you have 10 that have new videos, those ones would show up first, just to let you know. The other way that if you subscribe to something, it'll let you know if there's a new video is on the top right hand corner, the bell icon called notifications. It will notify you if one of your subscribed channels puts out a new video or is currently going live with the video. Okay. Watch later, liked videos, and playlists. Okay, so one of the things you notice is I have a watch later tab. This is considered a playlist. Now, you may wonder, well, how do I add playlists? And that's a great question. So if I want a specific playlist for, say, cooking things, or a specific playlist to car videos, I can make a playlist, and whenever I hit save, I can choose to save it to that specific playlist. So if I open BBC News,
Scandals happen all the time.
and I go to save, which is right below the video. Right now, I only have watch later as an option. That's because I haven't completed my account setup with YouTube. And you complete it by going to your account, create a channel, and get started, and you follow the prompts. So this is also a step you'll need to do in order to upload videos. So we're going to quickly go over how to do that. Not the whole process, but kind of how to start that process. So I'll click on my name in the top right hand corner. I will click create a channel and I will hit get started. So you'll have the option to do a channel name. So you'll hit select, do a channel name. I understand, create. And then you'll just kind of go through this process. Google may ask to spend some time to verify your account. All this does is it takes about 2 days for it to verify your account, and then you'll have access to your channel. The reason Google does this is that it doesn't want people to be able to essentially spam new accounts to upload content that their account gets banned for. So if someone uploads a full movie, they don't want them to be able to immediately create a new account, upload it, and just get on doing with what they just got banned for. So it takes a little bit of time to create your channel, but it's a couple days, and then you have access to adding new playlists. So basically how you would add a new playlist is you would hit save, and then underneath watch later, there will be a button that says create new, and you can create a new playlist, and then you can start saving things to it. I didn't do that with this channel primarily because I wanted to show you the process of creating a channel. I did do this with this YouTube account because I wanted to show you the process of creating a YouTube channel, which is you click on the top right, create a channel, and you follow the prompts. Mary has some slides in a little bit that I'll go over things you can do after you have created your channel. All right. So watching a video. So I figured I'd go over this briefly, but this is essentially, I'm going to go over everything you can do while you're currently watching a video. So over to the right, I have some of the options that we'll go over, like play, settings, view modes, and all that fun stuff. So if I go to a video, and this one seems nice.
Hello everyone, this is your...
Alright, so now I'm currently watching a video. In the top left, this is the video. On the right hand side, these are things that it thinks I will find interesting because of this video. And then on the top right, it says up next. So if I just let this video play, whenever it gets to be finished, so in 3 minutes and 15 seconds, it will automatically play the video called The Best of the Internet 2019 with 21 million views. Alright, so the name of the video will be down here, right below it. It will tell you below that how many people have viewed it and when it was uploaded. If we go to the right, it'll show you how many people have liked it and how many people have disliked it. And you also have this button to share and to save and then more. So, playing a video. You can press play by physically clicking.
Your daily...
And you can also, if you hover over it, you can see that it says K. I'll actually make the screen bigger. So if I press K on my keyboard on this page, it will start the video. And if I press K, it will also stop the video. So sometimes you think that might be spacebar.
Dose of internet.
And spacebar will work as well. But spacebar will also, depending on where you have clicked on the page, it will jump you down as like a next page option. All right, this button it just goes to the next video. Here is where you handle your sound. If we go further to the right, bottom right of the video, this will allow me to start and stop closed captions. So either someone has already uploaded the captions for the video, in which case it should be perfect, but Google/YouTube also will kind of try and transcribe what it hears. So sometimes you can get really interesting captions. If we look at the gear icon, this is called settings, and this will show me the settings of the video. Playback speed. So playback speed, you can set it to either play slower or faster. So one kind of thing some people do is if it's a really long video, they'll just increase it by 1.25 because the audio isn't changed that much, and then you just get through it a little bit faster if it's like a tutorial or something like that. Now, for me personally, I like watching magic tricks online, and card tricks specifically. So if I go to a part in a card trick and I'm like, I don't know what just happened, I will go to the video, I will choose playback speed of 0.5 or 0.25 to slow it down, and then I'll play it again, and then I can see everything in slow motion, which I find kind of neat. Another option is just the subtitle skin, and then quality. So if you have really bad internet, you'll probably be on auto, and the quality may go down, and you may see the video is really, really bad. If you want the video quality to just be the best it can be, just manually click on settings, and then quality, and then just tell it, nope, I want it 1080. I want it the highest quality you can. And then that will force it to play in the highest quality. And if your internet is bad and you then can't just watch the video straight through, it'll start downloading the video and buffer it so you can watch it all in the higher quality. The next option is mini player, and that basically shrinks this screen down a lot so you can view all the other stuff. Theater mode moves it to cover the horizontal width of the screen. And full screen will just make it full screen. Right, okay. So, share. So if you want to share this video, you can either do one of two things. You can copy this, go to the top of the page, and you can see the youtube.com/ all that stuff. You can copy this, and you can paste it in an email and share it that way. Another thing you can do is click on the share button, and this pops up. So you can share it with all of these different tools just with one click, or you can still copy it. Share. Or you can still copy the video name right here. But the interesting thing, and the thing I like about the share button, is it allows you to start the video at a certain time. So if there is a 10-minute long video, and personally I've experienced this, but if anyone has experienced finding a very funny video and you share it, and you're kind of watching it with the person, and they don't find it as funny as you do, that can be painful. So something you can do is if it starts to get funny at the 5-minute mark, you can tell it, or at the 1-minute mark, you can tell it, okay, I want the video that I'm sharing to start at 1 minute and 11 seconds. And then I can share it from there. And then now, when anyone clicks on my link, it will start the video whenever I told it to start. Once again, you can hit save, and you see that I've created the channel, so I can now hit create new playlist, and new playlist name, I will say funny. And privacy, so I can make my playlist private, so only I can see it. I can make it unlisted, so anyone I send the playlist to can view it, or I can make it public. So if you make it public, that means other people can search and potentially find your playlist and then watch all the videos in your playlist. So public, create, and now you can see that I have funny as an option. Alright, so if I hit save again, my playlist funny, it shows as having the globe icon, which means it's public. Watch later shows as having the lock icon, which means it's private, and funny is already selected, so I know this video is already in my funny playlist. If I go to the right-hand side just a little bit more, to the ellipses, I can click on that, and I have a couple more options. So I can report it, so you do this if you think the content shouldn't be on YouTube, and YouTube has some guidelines, you can read about that. But generally, what specifically would make a movie have an R rating in terms of violence and stuff like that, generally YouTube doesn't allow that. So if you see a video that, you know, goes off the deep end, feel free to report it. You can click open transcript. So this is really useful if it's a video that you kind of need to listen to for what people say, or a news report. You can just view the transcript and you can say, okay, oh, whenever they said their hand into water and still be whatever, I can say, okay, this is at 31 seconds. And now I can go to the video, and at 31 seconds, I can see the context of this statement. The other thing you can do is you can add translations. So if you are very fluent in a language, and you kind of feel like manually adding translations for video, you can do that.
Tim, one
Yeah.
question. Can other people hear your translations once you've created one?
Yeah, so, and the translation will be typed.
Okay.
So whenever I went to,
New video, y'all.
so whenever I went to closed captioning,
Mhm.
It would show up here as an option. So if you knew, like, Peruvian. I don't even know if that's the language, but if you knew Peruvian, you could start translating videos into your preferred language for other people.
To share.
Yep.
Cool.
So we're going to quickly go over account settings for your YouTube account. So we're going to go over account notifications, playback and performance, privacy, and connected accounts. So once again, if we open YouTube and we go to the top right and hit my name, and we go to settings, which is the gear icon, we then will see the settings for our Google account, or for our YouTube account. So my channel name, I can see that here. I can add people to manage my channel. This means that I can, if I'm part of a nonprofit or something and I want to create a YouTube channel, but I want other people to also be able to upload to it, I would add them here. And then this goes over my Google account. Notifications. So whenever you sign up to be notified by something on YouTube, as I showed a little bit earlier, you can tell YouTube what to send you notifications for. So basically subscriptions, it'll notify you if something you're subscribed to has created a new video, and you can turn all of these on or off and just read and see what they mean. And then that's pretty much most of this section, is just turning these on or off depending on whether you want to get bothered or not. Playback and performance. I generally wouldn't bother changing any of this. And this is just subtitles and closed captions. So if you need that, you can force it to auto include the generated captions when available. Privacy. This will allow you to do generic privacy changes. So I can keep all of my saved playlists private and keep all of my subscriptions private. Connected accounts, I just kind of want to go over this. You probably won't use this at all, but this is more for if you, in Peru they speak Spanish, so I'll pretend like I knew that. So basically this allows you to connect your YouTube account directly with a brand, and sometimes when you do that, you'll automatically get added into giveaways and stuff like that. So if a website or a brand asks you to connect your YouTube account, this is where it would show up, and you can always unconnect the accounts that you don't think you should be connected with. And we'll stop for questions for a little bit. If Mary wants to ask any questions or say anything pertinent.
I just thought we'd take a moment to see if anybody had any questions. I think there was one in the chat. Tim, if you want to take a look, and feel free to unmute yourself. I can't globally unmute everyone, so I need you to do that if you have a question. So let's see. Yeah. So going back
Okay.
to.
Yeah, so I see a question about me saying that YouTube is primarily for short videos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so YouTube started off as primarily a way of showcasing really short videos, like little clips. You can kind of think of it like America's Funniest Home Videos, but it has grown to be pretty massive, actually, and it allows you to have full-length movies on it as well. Some of those will be free, some of those won't be. I'm not particularly going to go over paying for movies and kind of renting movies, but you can rent movies directly on YouTube, and that's part of YouTube Premium.
Tim, this is Kath. About how long is a typical YouTube video that you're watching that's not one you're renting to watch a whole movie?
So the typical YouTube video is anywhere from a short clip like this, 1 minute 44 seconds, to hours. Primarily, you'll see videos that are around 10 minutes, though, because the YouTube algorithm pushes videos that, or historically has pushed videos that are around 10 minutes.
And don't forget, we download from Zoom the recording of this program and then upload it to YouTube so that those can run from an hour to an hour and a half.
Yep.
Oh, there was a question about the Greek alphabet, and is that an issue as far as creating translations?
I don't think it would be an issue, but since I've never actually, because I speak English and then pretend to speak German a little bit, I haven't actually delved into the that option as deeply as I should have, just because I, in no way, shape, or form, am able to take advantage of it.
Right, exactly. Something we can research and get back to everybody on.
Is there an optimum video resolution for upload? And that's a good question. Yes and no. So whenever you export a video from a video editing program, it will generally have one of the options as optimize for streaming content or optimize for YouTube, and you'll use that. YouTube will be able to handle whatever, size screen video you want to upload, and it also has faster refresh rate videos allowed as well. So, for example, this video that we're going to be uploading, I'm currently recording it on a 1440 screen, and I record it at 60 frames per second. Most videos on here you'll generally see, so I'll just click on this one. So this video is normal. So this video is 1080, and it's probably either 24 or 30 frames a second. So this is generally what you want to shoot for, is 1080 and around 30 frames a second.
Tim, I have another question. This is Kath.
Okay.
Showing that on one side that you could have one short video and then another one would come up after that and another one. Is that like on the phone? It's also going to have ads you've got to bounce around off of?
Yeah. So before a next video plays, depending on if it's monetized or not, it will either play a video or it won't, or play an ad. And that's kind of how they keep pushing you to watch videos, because whenever you're watching a video and you kind of don't know what to watch next, it will automatically put the next thing up. So it'll have another chance to serve you an ad.
Okay. So we have a couple more questions. First of all, can you enlarge your screen? It's hard to read, but I think also too, I'm seeing a very slow internet and some problems from that angle as well.
Yeah, I just saw a connection issue message. So one thing I will say about enlarging the screen is I can't really enlarge it much more than this, because it kind of just, this is the maximum that I can enlarge it.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the titles of stuff isn't going to be able to get that big on this website.
Right.
In settings, you said to leave videos private. Will that allow you to share with some people? So basically what I said is you can, whenever you save videos, you can make your playlist private. So I'll go over the options real quick. So test and privacy public. So public will allow anyone to search for a video and they potentially can see my playlist and then watch all the videos in my playlist. My playlist will have its name and it will also say that it was created by me. If I go to privacy unlisted, that means if people are searching, they can't find my playlist, but I can still copy my playlist the link to it and send it to other people for them to view. So it sounds like if you want other people not to be able to search for it willy-nilly, but you still want to be able to share it, unlisted is the way you want to go. And then the other option is private, and with this only you can view the playlist.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and again, I apologize about the size. YouTube is kind of not incredibly scalable. Plus, I'm viewing this on a huge screen, so I can't really see how small it may look on a smaller screen. Yeah, whenever we upload this, you can definitely watch it on a larger screen, or just pause it, and you should be able to read the different titles and stuff then. And just before I let Mary take over her section, the recommended video section will change depending on what you watch. So if you find that it is giving you recommended videos that you don't like, do what I showed you before. You can go to history and you can remove videos from your history. And then it theoretically wouldn't show those under my suggested or recommended videos. So right now I have very clickbaity type things showing. All right, so I think Mary's going to go over uploading a video.
Great. So the joy about YouTube is that not only can you watch videos, but you can upload videos for other people to watch. And there are lots of reasons to do it. There are a lot of people who feel very strongly about becoming YouTube influencers. I'm not sure I understand that. I do understand people also use YouTube to try to sell their products, so they will do uploads on their products or how to use them. There are a lot of tech tutorials. One of the ways of uploading videos is to share videos with family and friends, because it's great. You can upload the video and send them a link, so you don't have to worry about putting it into an email or Dropbox or finding some way to send it to them and then have them have to download it. You can just send them a link, and it makes it very easy for them. And they have it, they can come back to it whenever they choose to, because they can just search for your YouTube page and find it. So, okay, next slide, Tim. And the easiest way to do that, I guess I can actually manage slides too, sorry. Go to your YouTube, sign in, click on the creator icon and upload the video. You'll select the video from your computer, and then it will just go through the upload process. And if you need more guidance, there's a how-to video right up next to the upload with classics. Is there a question? I just heard somebody. Do we have a question? Okay. Anyway, yeah, so Tim, next screen. So when you upload a video, there are some materials, there's some information that you put into the video account. And if you're doing this for either to become an influencer or to try to sell something, you want to think of this in terms of SEO and using keywords that will help people to find it and to search for it. But basically, it starts with the title. and then a description. And there's lots of information on how to write the description and to put in keywords so that people can search for it. But I just did a general description. And go ahead and next slide, Tim. Okay. And you will also have the opportunity to use a thumbnail so that when it shows up on a YouTube page, there will be a thumbnail associated with it. If you have a paid account, you can upload a custom thumbnail, but you don't. But you get 3 options with a free account. So, and it just makes it more attractive, makes people easier to find. Okay. So go ahead and next slide. Playlists, audiences, and more options. Tim went over playlists a little bit. You can assign it to a playlist. For example, when we upload the Tech Tuesday classes, we have a Tech Tuesday playlist. So we put them all in one place so it's much easier to find them. And you do have to, as far as the audience, you do have to identify whether it was made for kids or it's not made for kids. And then there's, of course, there's always more options. We won't go over this. This is primarily for people who want to monitorize their YouTube channel, paid promotions, subtitles, tags, location data, license and distribution, category, and managing comments and ratings. And there are all sorts of opportunities to refine that for your YouTube channel. Okay, so next slide, Tim. There are video elements, and I'm not sure. Tim, feel free to speak to this because I've never used this. This is really for someone who has a paid account or wants to try to sell something. Have you ever used? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so video elements are pretty powerful, especially if you are trying to do kind of a brand YouTube channel. So add and end screen, what that does is it allows you to kind of automatically add a coherent message at the end of every video. And you can kind of set it up so on the right hand side it'll have another video, and on the left hand side it'll have another video. So that will allow people to click directly from watching your video to watching another one of your videos. Cards are things that can pop up during a video, and you can reference other videos or websites or what have you. So for example, in this video, I could talk about how the best way to kind of keep your YouTube account secure would be to use a password manager and use a long password when you're signing in. And then I could say something to the effect of, and if you click on the link that shows up on the top right hand corner of your screen right now, you'll see our video on how to do password management properly. So I would add a card and say, at this point in the video, pop up a card that, you couldn't see me, but I just did air quotes. So pop up a card that links to this video. So people from within my video could then say, oh, I want to know more about password management. So they would click on the card and then automatically be directed to a new screen with that video.
And next one. So again, we get back to what Tim has already explained, the visibility. Private means only you can watch it. Unlisted means anybody with the link can watch it, but you can't search for it online. And public means everyone can see it and search for it. So, and you'll see on the right hand side, you'll see the YouTube, the video has been loaded, and there's the video link, which you can copy right then to share it on your website or in email. And once you publish it, then you get to this screen where you can again share it either by copying the link or on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, whatever you would like to do. So just a way of getting the link out to your various followers. Okay. So I posted this. This I found a little creepy. I posted this video and I went back within, I think, less than a minute or so. And Arlie, 9 minutes ago, asked me if I wanted to be friends. I'm assuming that's a bot, Tim? That just
Probably.
okay. Anyway, you can get comments on your videos. This one just felt a little bizarre. And quite frankly, haven't responded to Arlie yet.
So it may have, Arlie may or may not be a bot. If it's a bot, it's possible that some of the keywords that it has, that it responds to videos with, would be Goldilocks and the Three Bears. So kind of that's like a kid's thing. So it would automatically kind of post that on children's videos and ask to be friends, either to grow its own channel or for some other reason.
And next screen. So I think Tim went over a little bit of this with, but if you go to systems as far as channel management, you have options to control the various elements of your channel as well as create a new channel. And then there are advanced video settings that you can go into and explore. We won't try to go into all of them right now because it can be sort of mind numbing. But go ahead, Tim. If you do add, so, and correct me, I'm not sure that I'm speaking perfectly accurately on this point, but if you have a YouTube account, you can have a channel. If you want more than one channel, it becomes a brand. You create the brand name, and then you can have multiple channels for that brand, which also allows you to have various other people working on, it's not tied to, various other people can jump in and manage the various channels. So you can have people working on the account without having to log in with your personal Google account, email, and password.
Yeah,
So,
and the reason why this is really important is you basically don't need to create a new account for every brand you want to manage. So for me, so I could potentially have a cooking channel, a sewing channel, a knitting channel, a tech channel. You know, I could do all of these things on my personal YouTube account. However, if I started to get kind of quote unquote big and have a lot of people kind of tuning in to watch the tech videos I did or the cooking videos I did, well, the people who were interested in the cooking videos may not care about the tech videos. So I would separate those out into different brands. So people, if they subscribe to my channel, they wouldn't be bombarded with videos that they had no interest in. So it's kind of a way for you to segment your specific videos into different categories and allow people to kind of subscribe to individual things you produce without necessarily knowing that it's all coming from you.
and this is, so a new YouTube star has been born. Go ahead and hit the link for us.
Silverlocks and the Three Libraries, with apologies to Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Once upon a time, there was a librarian named Silverlocks who wandered into the woods in search of the perfect library. Soon she came upon a magical door. Upon opening the door, she found herself in a beautiful library. Oh no, this will never do. This library is too grand. Walking farther into the woods, she found another and older door. It took all her strength to open it. Oh, dear me, The ceiling is too low. I would bump my head. Sadly, she continued walking. But then, off in the distance, she saw a beautiful portico door. Gleefully, she ran to open it. Wow, this library is just perfect. Silverlocks had indeed found the perfect library, and she stayed there happily ever after, or at least until she retired.
That,
The three
A
thank you,
YouTube
Tim.
star indeed.
Oh, that was fun to do. So anyway, let's open it up to questions and see, does anybody have any questions about that? So there's a question about, is the brand protected similar to a copyright?
So yeah, it's kind of one of those things. If you create it first, you have some minimal protection. But as always, like I'm not going to create a brand called Apple kind of thing, because they might get a little annoyed at that. But just make sure, do a light cursory search to make sure you're not directly copying someone else, and then go for it. And honestly, if you create a brand and then a year later you get a cease and desist letter, that's fantastic, because that means your content got enough views for someone else to feel like it was taken away from theirs. So that's how you know you've made it, once you're getting sued.
Tim, talk about using music for your videos, because we've come across that with various people who've used copyrighted music.
Yeah, so let's just preface this section by me saying I am 100% not a lawyer. I have two friends who are lawyers, and when they give me advice, they even say, pretend I'm not a lawyer. So definitely double check everything I'm about to say. So how long of a music clip can you put in a video legally? That really depends. It depends on whether your whether the music is being used in a fair use kind of way, and it also depends on how voracious the company is that goes after you. Now, so the other side of that is, what negative things will happen to you if you directly rip off a music video or music in your video and people come after you? Well, a couple things can happen. One, they could get your video turned off, but that's honestly pretty rare. And they can add a strike against your channel, and then you would have to basically apologize and get the strike removed and then promise to never do it again. What's far more common is they just claim that portion of the video infringes on their works, and then they take all the ad revenue from the video. What you can do is you can look for music specifically that has like a Creative Commons license or is allowed for distribution, and that's fairly easy to find. And another thing I want to quick go over is just to show you that fair use covers a lot of things. So React. Oh, I'm in my channel. Sorry. So this is fair use. Okay, sorry about that loud sound. But this is a reaction video where the entirety of Taylor Swift's song is being played and they are reacting to it. So if you notice a couple things, one, this video is 15 minutes long. So they basically don't just have her music video playing, they also have to add and interject their own content into it. And by doing this, it's now considered fair use and it's legal. Not really sure how much more in detail I can get without knowing a specific example, but just try and use, you know, non, trying to use kind of free to use music that allows for this kind of content creation. And there are a lot out there. And sometimes all they'll ask is they'll ask you to, in the description right here, they'll ask you to say, you know, music in this video is from, you know, John. And then it'll link to his YouTube channel. And then he'll get views if people really like the music. What is a good source for free music? I don't know a good source for free music. I use a paid service that is run by Trent Reznor, ironically. But I can definitely look into that and add some free music sources into one of the slides afterwards.
Somebody just mentioned SoundCloud. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, so SoundCloud. SoundCloud is kind of, it's for more auditory stuff, and there will be a lot of artists who upload their stuff for SoundCloud. I'm not sure. I think SoundCloud does have an option for free or for fair use or whatever music. You just have to give them credit.
Great. So does any?
Tim,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah,
Kath.
this is Kath. I just have a clarity question. When you were talking about the channel management, you and Mary, and then you said if you were going to do an assortment of short videos, you'd really want to classify them under separate accounts and not run two different things together.
Yeah, so generally best practice is to have a channel, do one thing. So if you have a hairdressing channel and a cooking channel, people who care about hairdressing won't necessarily care about cooking. So you'll just want to separate those two things into different channels so people can subscribe to one or the other.
So you'd have to have two separate YouTube accounts.
No, the entire point is you can do all of this with one account.
Oh, okay.
Well, thank you, Tim. Does anybody have any more questions? If not, we will call it. We will wrap it. Oh, did you see this last chat question, Tim?
How long do you expect it takes to reach 87,000 users? It really depends on the video you have.
How long do you think my video is going to take, Tim?
How much do you want to push it? How much money are you willing to pay to get more people to watch it? Yeah.
Those users? Yeah, I don't think so. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. We will send out the recording and the slides. Next week, we're going to be talking about novelists. Curbside delivery will be open at the library starting next week. So because you can't browse the stacks, we thought we'd go over a really great way to find your next great read. So I hope you'll join us. Just email me for the link if you don't have it in the monthly email that I sent out, and I'd be happy to send it to you. So thank you very much, and thank you, Tim.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.